What? Tea with bourbon? But not just any old tea. This is one of my favorites, but lesser known, Lady Earl Grey. Will this work or be a complete failure? Well, let's find out. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways Plus Plus. I'm Doc Martinez, and we will continue on my journey down my old-fashioned rabbit hole. I have never been much of a coffee drinker, but I do enjoy tea. A lot of people have heard of Earl Grey, but have you heard of Lady Earl Grey? She is definitely one of my favorite teas. Cocktail quiz time. What's the difference between Earl Grey and Lady Earl Grey tea? So, I've seen a few Earl Grey old-fashioned recipes online, and originally that is what I was going to do. I think maybe in the future I still will because it's something that I think will be fun to do. But instead, I decided to do one of my favorite teas and combine it with my passion for making an old-fashioned. I am excited, so I can't wait to get into this one. For the first one, I want to make this a simple old-fashioned with a hint of Lady Earl Grey tea. Lady Earl Grey old-fashioned ingredients. 2 ounces of a bourbon, half an ounce of Lady Earl Grey simple syrup, 2 dashes orange bitters, and optional an orange. Well, let's start making the Lady Earl Grey Old Fashioned. Now this one's going to be made in the mixing glass. And we're going to start off with the half an ounce of Lady Earl Grey simple syrup. Now I will have a description on how to make this below. It is a simple mixture and it's pretty fun and easy to make. I definitely want to make sure I'm using a half an ounce of this because this is the only essence of Earl Grey we're going to have in this. Nice. Look at that. I just love the color and darkness on this. It smells so good and it tastes extremely good too. All right. Next for this one, we are going to add some orange bitters. 1 to 2 dashes would be enough. I like it, so I'm definitely going with the 2, but make sure there are 2 good dashes that you're adding in there as well. Ooh. Next is 2 full ounces of a bourbon. Now, I'm actually chose mixtures because it's a lower proof bourbon, and I want this to be a lower proof one because I really want to have that hint of that Lady Earl Grey come through. So we're definitely going a little bit lower proof. It's not going to overtake this drink too quickly as well. If you want yours to be a little bit more, bourbon for it, use a little bit of higher proof or use something that you enjoy. But definitely, I'm using this one just so we can taste it and have that hint in there and just enjoy it. At least that's what I'm hoping. Next, we're going to get some ice. And we're going to drop some ice cubes in here. And we're going to stir this up until chilled. Ooh, nice and chilled in the glass. Not over chilled because you want it to be perfect as you're drinking it, not as we're making it. Now for this one, I'm putting it in a smaller glass because a lady would like a small glass, wouldn't she? And we're going to take this out and strain it in there. And I only have 1 small little ice in there. But let's pour this in here. Oh yeah, just perfect amount to put in that glass. We're gonna get an orange, get a piece of this peel. Make sure it's a nice fresh orange with a nice thick peel on it. So when you get that, you get some nice juices going over this. All right, now just express those oils over the top. Like my friend Gnome showed me, wipe the edge of that glass as well. Now, all I'm gonna do is make a little slit in this one. Make sure it went all the way through. And we use that little slit just to put it right over the edge and kind of stay there. Kind of looks like a little kiss there. All right, it's time to taste this first one and see how this came out. You smell that orange over it. Ooh, it smells good. You do smell a little bit of that tea as well. That orange hits you first, but a hint of the tea in the background. Oh yeah, that's just a good drink. Good fun drink. I like it. All right, time to make the next one. So this next one I want to make where it highlights the Lady Earl Grey tea, where you're going to be drinking that. So we're going to be taking this one to the next level. So this one I'm going to be calling the Duchess Earl Grey Old Fashioned. Ingredients for the Duchess Earl Grey Old Fashioned. 2 ounces of Lady Earl Grey infused bourbon, half an ounce of Lady Earl Grey simple syrup, 2 dashes of Gnome's Earl Grey bitters with a dash of orange bitters. Optional is an orange and a dried orange for garnish. To make the Duchess Earl Grey Old Fashioned, it's going to be made directly in the glass. We're not going to want to waste anything. We want to make it perfect in the glass. All right, so let's start off with half an ounce of the Lady Earl Grey simple syrup. And once again, I have a recipe on how to make this below. This came out so good that all the flavors you get from this are going to be pretty amazing in this. Especially if you like Earl Grey tea or Lady Earl Grey tea, you're going to actually get a lot of that in this one. Next, we're going to be using my buddy Gnome's Earl Grey bitters. This is such a unique and interesting bitters. Now, he does have this for sale, and we're going to be using 2 of this. So if you want to get a bottle of this, I will leave a link for it below as well. We want to add a little bit of orange bitters and just 1 dash of that this time. So now, before I add the beautiful Lady Earl Grey bourbon infused, we're going to add an ice to this. We have to get a nice ice and just slide it right in there and drop that in. The reason I'm using this glass is because I feel like a Duchess wouldn't use an old-fashioned glass. You use something a little bit more fancy, right? And so that's what we have here. All right, let's stir this up a little bit. Let's pop this open and let's give this a full 2 ounces. Now, I don't know, maybe a Duchess would do a 1.5 ounce, but no, we're doing a full 2 ounces. Just look how dark and beautiful that looks. It's making my mouth drool as we speak. Let's get a nice gold one to match the gold top here. Stir this up a little bit. We're close to done, but we're not done yet. Once again, we're gonna get an orange, and that's it. Nice fresh orange peel. You wanna get a nice thick slice of that. You want to have lots of juices. Cocktail quiz time. What's the difference between Earl Grey and Lady Earl Grey tea? The main difference between Earl Grey and Lady Earl Grey tea is that Lady Earl Grey contains lemon and orange peel with bergamot, and Earl Grey typically contains only bergamot. All right, it's time to taste the Duchess Earl Grey Old Fashioned. Let's just move this to the side for a second. Ooh, you smell that orange with that little bit of burntness to it. You do smell a lot of that tea in there. That's coming through nicely. I can't wait to try this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You get so much of that Lady Earl in there. So you know you're drinking bourbon. You have some of that bourbon flavor in there and some of that sweetness that you get from the bourbon. But you also have the simple syrup with the Earl Grey. You have the bourbon infused with the Lady Earl Grey. You have the bitters with the Earl Grey. There's just so much of that in here. There's just so much flavor. It is so good. So do you have any other ideas what you should do with this tea infused simple syrup? My wife mentioned to my daughter while she was out there that, hey, she used the simple syrup in a lemonade. I thought, ooh, that would be good. This in a lemonade and then turning that into an old fashioned, even better, right? So let me know in the comments below, do you have any other ideas for using the recipes, using the Lady Earl Grey tea, or really any tea? Have you ever used any tea in a cocktail or in an old fashioned? Let me know. I would like to know because sometimes that gives me inspiration and ideas, and that next drink could be the one that you help me come up with. Well, my friends, thank you for joining me on another journey down my old fashioned rabbit hole. I'm loving it. To our next journey, my friends. Cheers. And I want to thank everybody who's a Patreon member. All the names are listed here. Thank you for joining the Old Fashioned Ways Plus family.